श्रीपूर्वक्षः हिरण्याकशिपूर्वक्षः शीलटङ्कानकालाय इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये हृदये बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतसुन्दरा हिरण्यकशिपूतनवृन्दा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल कृष्ण Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to do Kirtan? Shanti Mata, Ramachandran Mataji?
Yes,
Want to
Mataji.
do Kirtan Mataji? Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Start.
yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Vasandirasa.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
वृंदावन रम्य स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहारा वृंदावन रम्य स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहारा आवृत्ति कालिंदी नीरे राजहंस केले करे अहे शोभे कनक माला आवृत्ति कालिंदी नीरे राजहंस केले करे अहे शोभे कनक माला वृंदावन रम्य स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहारा तारा मध्ये हेमापीठ अष्टथले पेष्टित अष्टतले प्रधानन टीका मध्ये रत्नासने बसियाचेन तुई जने श्याम संगे सुंदरी राधिका मध्ये रत्नासने बसियाचेन तुई जने श्याम संगे सुंदरी राधिका वृंदावन रम्य स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहार उरुकाल वन्य राशि अमिया भोड़ी से कसी हास्य परिहास संभाषणे नरोत्तम धासे खोई नित्य लीला सुखमय सताई स्फुरुख मोर माने नरोत्तम धासे खोई नित्य लीला सुखमय सताई स्फुरुख मोर माने वृंदावन रम्य स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहार हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू माता जी
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful kirtan. Anybody else wants to do kirtan, Matajis? Anyone else? Sharmila Mataji, Sunita Mataji, Sudha Mataji, Chandana Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, I will do.
Hare. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Nam Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful kirtan. Medhavini Mataji, welcome Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandat pranams to Mataji and Dandat pranams to all. Hare Krishna Mataji. Over to you Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी, यशोधानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी, जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। श्री राम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्टश की वृंद की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री गुरुदेव की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. Thank you for joining in for the Srimad Bhagavatam session this morning. We are in a very wonderful chapter where we are discussing about how the source of this material creation, Brahmaji, got created, and how did he get the knowledge of doing this visarga or this secondary creation. So that's what we're going to read today. And before that, we'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayesha Bhadresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuke. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Dvadabhayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvameko Dhayyamananam Apavargo Si Samshrute. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Namom Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gauradushe Namaha. Panchatattva-atmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tarale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Mugam Karoti Vachalam Bhangum Langayate Girim Yadkrapadamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. Again, welcome you all for the Srimad Bhagavatam session this morning. We are reading a very wonderful section. This is chapter 8 of Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we'll be covering from text number 21 to text number 25. Yesterday we were hearing very beautifully, Kalasudha Mataji was describing who is Brahma. Brahma actually became Haridas Thakur, right? So here we're going to describe how Brahma, although being an administrator of the Supreme Lord, is being engaged in the Visarga or in the sub-creation. Even he can be illusioned by the Lord. If the Lord wants to put somebody into illusion, everybody can get illusioned. But such kind of illusion by them are all in the service of the Lord. Because Krishna wants to teach us a lesson. Right? Sometimes we think, oh, Indra, he always makes mistakes. Oh, Brahma, he always makes mistakes. Right? The Govardhan Leela and all that. Right? So we should understand that they are all administrators of the Supreme Lord. So when we are reading all of these pastimes, we should understand, I was hearing devotee's lecture. So he was mentioning how, when the mother or the mother-in-law wants to teach the daughter-in-law, then she teaches her daughter so that the daughter-in-law does not feel, oh, my mother-in-law is correcting me like that. Because between mother and daughter it is okay, right? It's common. So the mother-in-law will instruct the daughter-in-law in this way, instruct the daughter like that. So when Brahma is put into illusion and, Indra sometimes, does not respect the Lord as he should do, we should understand that it is by the will of the Lord. And like you also know the Parikshit Maharaj story, how Parikshit Maharaj goes and puts a snake on the neck of Samik Rishi. Right? All of this are for the greater benefit of people like us, for the greater benefit of Kaliyuga Vasis. Right? That was for Srimad Bhagavatam to be delivered, and this was for understanding how much a false prestige or false ego can inhibit one's real nature. That was what we see from both Brahma Vimohan Leela as well as from the Govardhan Leela, when Indra actually sent the Samvartaka clouds, right? So it is in this mood that we have to study these verses, because we want the mercy of Brahmaji, right? Brahmaji actually, he is the greatest devotee of the Lord, and he actually he's doing so much of services, right? When we see the world around us, it is so magnificent, and it's been created by Brahma, although the power for creation comes from the Lord. So we should respect Brahmaji, Indraji, and all the administrators of the Lord in this way, because we are learning so much of lessons from them. And in today's verses, we are going to see how what is the greatness of Brahmaji's tapasya, right? How many years of tapasya he did, what he did, that's what we'll see today. And we find it very difficult to even chant our minimum 16 rounds during Brahma Murta. We want to get up, we want to go, we want to drink water, we want to talk to some people, right? In that way, they are not focused. So in the today's verses, we will see how Brahma performed so much of tapasya, because he got created, he didn't know what to do. Right? We are guided so much by our Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus, yet we finding it so difficult to do our services. But here we see how Brahma is doing so much of tapasya, and then being guided by the Lord, he gets to know what he has to do, right? Because of his humility, because of his sincerity, because of Brahma's determination to perform devotional service. So that is the only qualification. And then we will get, what is that? Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamah. Nashyami atma bhavastu jnana deepena bhashvatah. So whatever ignorance, whatever doubts we have in our mind, the best person who can relieve us of all our ignorance and doubts is Lord Sri Krishna himself. And when would Lord Sri Krishna help us get out of all of our ignorance and doubts? Only when we exhibit our sincerity to the Lord, our sincerity to Guru, that our desire is nothing but to render devotional service for their satisfaction. So with that, let's go on to today's verses. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we are reading Canto 3, chapter 8, text number 21. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes. Text number 21. Tato nivrito apratilabdha kamaha swadishnyam asadya punaha sadevaha. Okay, just to give a context here, Maitreya is actually telling Vidura all of this. He's re-explaining the process of creation because Vidura inquired from Maitreya Muni. And so Maitreya Muni is again re-explaining the entire creation process. We've already seen this, right? So why we reading and rereading again and again? Because we are understanding the greatness of the Lord, right? Because the Kali Yuga Vasis, one time when we've spoken something, understood something, that's not good enough for us. We have to hear, rehear, and then apply it in our life. So that becomes a part of our life. Then only it becomes clear. Otherwise, mere hearing from this year, going through this year, does not really help. It has to go into our heart. Hearing from one ear, going into the heart and applying it in our life. That is why the greatness of the Lord is again being described by Maitreya to Vidura. So that is the context here. Tato nivritto apratilabdha kamaha swadishnyamasadya punaha sadevaha shanairjita shwasa nivritta chitto nyashidat arudha samadhi yogaha. Yeah, Divya Gopa Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Tato nivritto apratilabdha kamaha swadishnyam asadya punah sadevaha shanairjita shwasa nivritta chitto nyasidat arudha samadhi yogaha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Shobha Mataji, can you read the synonyms, word to word translation and the translation also?
Haribol Mataji, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonymous to Srila Prabhupada. Tataha, thereafter, nivrittaha, retire from that endeavor. Apratilabdha kamaha, without achievement of the desired destination. Swadishnayam, own seat. Asadhya, reaching. Punaha, again. Saha, he. Devaha, the demigod. Sanai, without delay. Jita swasa, controlling the breathing. Nivritaha, retired. Chittaha, intelligence. Nyasitha, sat down. Arudha, in confidence. Samadhi yogaha, in meditation of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Haribol, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Translation also you can read. Translation by Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay,
Thereafter, being
Mataji, we'll ask Vrishabhanu Mataji because I saw no hands up, so that's why. Yeah, Vrishabhanu Kanya Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Dandavats.
Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus, controlling all objectives, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so very wonderful. This particular thing in the purport, Prabhupada talks about how we have to concentrate our mind into devotional service. Before that, I'm sure all of you all know the brief background of what is happening here. So Brahma has got created from the navel of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and then Brahma is coming out and then he's seeing there is darkness all around, there is ignorance, there is complete darkness. And then what happens? Brahma is bewildered. And then Brahma is going up the you know, the navel is there, right? On top of that, there is a leaf, and on top of the lotus, Brahma is seated there. So he's coming down and then seeing what around, what can I get to understand, who is there, what am I supposed to do, why am I being created? And then he goes up, and then again he feels, cannot understand anything, right? So he went up, came back again to the lotus, and then what he decided, hamare bas ki baat nahi hai, I will not be able to understand by my own endeavor, right? What is that verse? Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyaihi sevon mukehi jibado swayameva suratyadaha. Then understood, right? I cannot understand the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, the plan of the Lord, why He's created me by my own mental speculation or by trying to find out with my own senses, trying to see, trying to hear something. No, right? Then what does he do? He meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Na bhaved graham indriyahi sevon mukehi jivadav. This is for Kali Yuga, right? What do we have to do? We have to simply vibrate the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with our tongue. And then what happens? Swayam eva suratyadaha. The Lord will reveal himself to us. And that is the only way by which we can know the Lord. Otherwise, we cannot understand the Lord. And Prabhupada gives a very beautiful word here. What is that? Self-surrender. That's what Prabhupada talks about here in the purport. Prabhupada talks about what is this samadhi. This is a word Prabhupada uses. Right? Even in the 18th chapter, Prabhupada is talking about in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada also explains the samadhi. What is samadhi? Samadhi means one has to completely focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Samadhi does not mean simply not having any desires. Right? Samadhi means one-pointed attention on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is what is called samadhi, right? It cannot be attained by somebody who does not know whether the Lord is personal or impersonal, right? Samadhi means focusing on the personal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada also mentions a beautiful point here of self-surrender, right? What is self-surrender? Self-surrender means I don't have any ulterior motives, right? Yesterday we were discussing Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukuliyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. That is pure devotional service. When all our Anya Bilashita is zero, no other desires other than serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, no personal sense endeavor, no personal sense gratification. If we don't have any such ulterior motives of attaining something from by performing some service, right? In the material world, we work for our bosses, but we are expectant of the salary that we will receive from them. There is no love, right? The moment he stops giving salary, before that only I will start, right? I will hear, the company is going in loss. Maybe next month we'll not get our salary. This month only we will resign and try to find another job, right? Because what is the purpose of our going for the job? The money that we are getting. And when the company is no longer able to provide that kind of money, then what happens? I stop working for that particular company. But is devotional service like that? No, right? One is, of course, devotional service. The Lord can never become, not reciprocative, right? That can never be the point of object of our devotional service. Whom do we render devotional service? We are rendering devotional service to the Lord, who can never not reciprocate. Right? I was hearing Amarendra Prabhu's lecture here about a couple of days back. I was saying, two negatives makes it positive, like that he was mentioning, something like that. Don't touch me. Don't touch me, like that. When Mother Yashoda or Gopis or the Gopas were running behind Krishna, and then Krishna said, don't touch me, like that. And then Prabhu was explaining how don't touch me becomes, oh, touch me, like that. So that is actual desire of the Lord. So there is no point in time that the Lord cannot reciprocate with his devotees, right? So here we are talking about surrender to that Lord with whom we don't want to expect anything. We don't want to expect any kind of return. Although the Lord is purely qualified, the Lord is all heart to give us more than what we need. From our stage, we don't want to expect it from the Lord. When we don't expect anything from the service that we render, that is called pure devotional service. And Prabhupada is saying each and every living entity needs to develop this attitude of pure devotional service to the Lord. Only then he can understand the ultimate cause of his existence, right? What is the ultimate cause of our existence? Jivera Swarupa Hoye Krishnera Nitya Das. I am the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If I don't understand that, then it is all my shrama, all my endeavor is shrama evahi kevalam. There is no use of all our endeavors. Why? Because it may give us money, it may give us, good health, right? The jogging or the exercising, whatever we are doing. Right? It will give us benefits. It will make our body healthy. It will give us a lot of money, name, fame, glory, etc. But all of that will die with the body. What is it that will give me something that is eternal, that will not vanquish with this body, which will stay with me life after life after life? Right? What is that? Pure devotional service. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam anukuliyena krishna anushilanam. Very important. We also spoke about Kamsa and Shishupal. Right? They were always thinking of Krishna, but not favorable. So what are we doing? We have to develop favorable, loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord, following in the footsteps of our acharyas. Anushilanam. Then it is Bhaktir Uttama. Right? So 3 points from this purport, which Prabhupada is very beautifully bringing out. 1, what is Samadhi? Samadhi means complete focus on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, on the personal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 2, concentration of the mind on this personal form of the Lord is certainly a form of devotional service. But when does devotional service become pure devotional service? When there is a sign of complete surrender, there is no desire to get anything in return, right? Doing the service simply and exclusively for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called pure devotional service. And here, concentrating upon the mind, if we talk something more about it, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, right? If you're able to get our mind to do what we want it to do, now then the mind is our best friend. Otherwise, the mind is the greatest enemy, right? Bandhuratma manastasya yenatmaivatmana jitha anatmanastu shatrutve vartitatmaiva shatruvar. Right? So self-surrender is possible only when we are able to dictate our terms to the mind, not that we listen to the mind and do acts accordingly. When we are able to dictate, when we will be able to dictate terms to our mind, when our intelligence becomes purified by study of the scriptures, and then we direct the mind, and then the mind directs the senses, and then the senses are engaged in devotional service to the Lord. Right? Prabhupada gives in Bhagavad Gita a very beautiful example of a chariot. Right? The 5 horses are the 5 senses, and then the reins is the mind, and the driver, the person who is riding the chariot, that is intelligence, right? And who is the soul? The soul or the jiva is the passenger, right? The passenger tells the intelligence or the driver where you're supposed to go, and the intelligence directs the mind what you're supposed to do. The mind tells the senses what they have to do. Each of the senses have to engage in each of the services according to the function that is given to them, right? And then what does the self-surrender lead to? Why is it pure devotional service? Why is self-surrender? How do we know? Am I doing pure devotional service or am I doing simply devotional service? Right? We may string garlands for the Lord. We may make Bhoga for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We may give classes on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. We may be hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita day in and day out. How do we know? What is the test? What is the litmus test? Am I doing devotional service? Yes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Yes, I'm doing Shravanam. Yes, I'm doing Kirtanam. Yes, I'm doing Smaranam of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But is this devotional service? Is it pure devotional service? Then if it is pure devotional service or not, how do we check that? Vajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. Abhaya. Are we becoming fearless? Right? Because this material world, there is padam yet vipadam na tesham. Every step is a danger in this material world. In this material world, am I fearless in performing my devotional service to the Lord? Am I fearful of what is going to happen in the next minute in my personal life, in my office life, in my spiritual life also? Am I worried about it? That means I am not surrendered to the Lord. Because if I surrender to the Lord, what is the natural consequence of that? I become fearless. Right? Abhaya Charana Ravindare. Right? Our Prabhupada's name is also Abhay Charan. When we take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, the immediate consequence of that is fearlessness. Right? Chaturveda Vajanti Imam, Jana Sukrituna Arjuna. 4 people tried to approach Krishna. All the 4 people have this fear. Right? One has the fear, oh my God, will my desires get fulfilled? Will I get my money? Will my suffering cease? They're all doing devotional service because they're coming to Krishna. But is it pure devotional service? No, it is not. Right? Why? Because there is ulterior motive of relieving oneself from suffering. There is ulterior motive of getting name, fame, glory, getting wealth, getting anything other than pure devotional service. Then it is not pure devotional service. And when Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya mam avijanati yavanyaschasmi tatvatah tatomam tatvato jnatva vishate tat anantaram, that Bhaktya mam avijanati, only a pure devotee can understand me as I am. Right? Tatvatah can know me in full, right? In principle, in knowledge, right? In Siddhanta. Who can know me? Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Right? Bhaktya is a person who is engaged in pure devotional service. Why is it pure devotional service? Because Krishna allows himself to be conquered by those devotees. He allows himself to do whatever this pure devotee is telling him. He does not use his intelligence. Right? Ratham stapayame achyuta. Arjuna tells Krishna, oh Krishna, take my chariot in the middle of the armies. And what does Krishna do? Immediately he takes it to in between the armies. Right? So this is the nature of Krishna. Right? Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktya pranashyati. Oh Kaunteya, you declare that my devotee will never perish. Why is Krishna not making a promise himself? We know the pastime of how Bhishma Deva, he took weapon, although he had promised. Right? That is, of course, for a higher purpose of giving pleasure to his pure devotee Bhishma Deva. But all said and done, he broke his word. Right? That is why he's saying, I will allow myself to be conquered by that devotee who is surrendering himself completely to me, has no ulterior motives in performing devotional service. Such a devotee, Krishna says, knows me in full. Let's move on to text number 22. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, Shanti Ramachandran Mataji, I can see your hand up. You can read the verse. Kalena soja purushayushabhi pravritta yogena viruda bodha swayam tadantar hridaye avabhatam apashyata yanna purvam. Yes, Mataji.
Kalena soja purusha. Mataji, this no text no. Kalena soja purushayushabhi pravarta yogena viruddha bodha swayam tadantar hridaye vabhatam apasya tapasyata yanna purvam.
Pashyata means to see. So pashyata.
Okay. Synonyms also, Mataji.
Pashyata yanna purvam. Apashyata means I am seeing what cannot be, what is not manifest. That's what a devotee is able to see. Okay, Mataji, you can read the synonyms also.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pashyata yanna purvam. Okay.
Correct. Apashyata.
Yeah. Apashyata. Yeah. Okay, Mataji.
Yes. Correct.
Kalene, in due course of time, sa, he.
Mataji, we can ask Sudha Mataji to read.
Yeah,
Other
okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranams. Kalena, in due course of time. Saha, he, Aja, the self-born Brahma. Purusha, Ayusha, by the duration of his age. Abhipravritta, being engaged. Yogena, in meditation. Virudha, developed. Bodha, intelligence. Swayam, automatically. Tat antaha hridaye, in the heart. Avabhatam, manifested. Apashyata, saw. Apashyata, did see. Yat, which, not. Purvam, before.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Who will want to read the translation? Anasuya Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At the end of Brahma's 100 years, when his meditation was complete, he developed the required knowledge, and as a result, he could see in his heart the Supreme within himself, whom he could not see before with the great endeavor. Thank you, Mataji.
Greatest endeavor. So here, what is the greatest endeavor, right? We all do so much of endeavors in our life, right? To get money, to acquire a big house, to get a nice car, right? So much, especially during this, March, April, it becomes a performance appraisal time. That time we write everything, whatever we have done for the organization. Oh, I've done so much of efforts. I should be rewarded. Isn't it? We all do it, right? Because that is the reason why we are performing the tapasya. What is our tapasya? Working not just 8 hours, but 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, right? To be seen by the boss that you are working very hard. Because the result of that we will get in April, May, right? When we get our performance bonus or whatever it may be, right? But here, what is Brahma saying? Brahma is saying, I could see what pashyata. What I could not see before with the greatest of the endeavor, I could see now. How could Brahma see now? Because Brahma pleased the Supreme Lord. Right? Swayameva suratyadaha. So the Lord, being pleased by Brahma's tapasya, revealed himself to Brahma. Right? And then Prabhupada mentions in the purport about the lifetime of Brahma. Right? We've read it in Bhagavad Gita. How the aggregate of the 4 yugas, right? Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. All the 4 yugas, right? It's called Chatur Yuga, right? And out of that, 1000 times of the aggregate of the Chatur Yuga, that is Brahma's one day. and Brahma's one night is equal to that into 2. Right? That's what we say, 43 lakh years, right? Earthly years, like that. And Brahma meditated 100 such years, right? And when he meditated so much time, then he could understand the supreme cause of all causes, right? Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govindaha, Sarva Karana Karanam. And then what did Lord Krishna tell Brahma? That is the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam verses, right? Ahameva Sameva Agre, Na Anyad Yatsata Satparam, Paschadaham Yadetacha, Yovasishyeta Sosmiham. What did Krishna tell our Brahmaji, our Krishna in the form of Karanodakashaya Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, right? He comes from the navel of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, right? So Krishna is speaking through Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. What is he saying? He's saying, Aham eva sameva agre na anyat sadasat param. Right? He's saying that nothing was existing before this creation. Nothing will exist after annihilation. I am the only person who existed before creation, after annihilation, and I am also the maintainer of this entire universe. These 4 verses of Chaturshloki Bhagavatam verses. This is what was delivered into the heart of Brahmaji, because the Lord was satisfied. And then what did he do? He wrote what we will be reading at 11:30 a.m. today morning. What is that? Brahma Samhita, right? Brahma saw this beautiful form of the Lord, and whatever are his emotional ecstasies, that is what he gave in Brahma Samhita, right? All these wonderful verses glorifying the beauty of the Lord. Venam Kwanantamara Vindalayatакsham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Visesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Like that. In the initial verses, we see how Brahma is talking about the greatness of the Lord. Now, as we progress, we are almost on the 3rd last day of the Brahma Samhita. We see how, as we are progressing, understanding the greatness of the Lord, we slowly progress towards understanding the sweetness of the Lord. How can we understand the sweetness of the Lord? We are understanding the importance of devotional service. Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Then we get bliss in our heart when we render devotional service without any motivation, without any interruption. Then we will be able to understand the Lord, just like Brahma understood the Lord, right? Swayameva Suratyadaha. When the Lord revealed himself to him. In this way, how can we please the Lord? We will be able to please the Lord when we will please our spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadat nagati kutopi Dhyayan suvam stasya yasastri sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam. Right? I think Amarendra Prabhu only was talking about this. Nama and Pranama. He was saying Pranama is more important than Nama, because when we offer pranams to the Lord, we of course chant the Nama, isn't it? When we go to the any ISKCON temple, we first go to Prabhupada. We offer obeisances. We say Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya, Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauramani Pracharine, Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. And then we go to Panchatattva or we go to Gauranitai. Then we say Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Or any prayers. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dishvenama. So when we are offering pranam, what are we saying? We are speaking out the Nama, isn't it? And this is when we are doing this devotional service unto the Lord. We are not expecting the Lord. If you're not expecting for the Lord to give us a promotion, to give us the salary, to give us, nice prasadam at 9 o'clock, right? So if you're not desiring all of this, then what happens? We are performing pure devotional service. And when the Lord is pleased, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, when the Lord is pleased by our devotional service, he will reveal himself into our hearts, just like he revealed himself unto the heart of Brahmaji. Yeah. So in this verse, that's what is mentioned here, right? What is mentioned here? Brahma was revealed of the entire glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Brahma wrote this in his ecstasies in what is called Brahma Samhita. And this was recognized by Lord Chaitanya. Right? Why was it recognized by Lord Chaitanya? Because Lord Chaitanya only found this Brahma Samhita in the Adi Keshava temple, right? And then he gave this as a prime scripture, also to be read by the devotees, right? So this Brahma Samhita was authorized and recognized by Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So with our greatest endeavors, we cannot understand the Lord. Simply by surrender to the Lord and engaging in devotional service, and by such devotional service, when we please our spiritual master, when we please Srila Prabhupada, then automatically we will please the Guru Parampara, and then we will please in that way, the pleasing goes up the Guru Parampara. We please Guru, we please Srila Prabhupada, we please Guru Parampara, we please Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we please Ishwara Puri, we please Madhavendra Puri, and then it goes up. And then we please Shri Radha and Krishna, right? Why is Gauranga down? Because Gauranga is not different from Krishna, right? But Gauranga has appeared in the form of his pure devotee, in the form of his own pure devotee. Gauranga is not different from Krishna. All right, so let's move forward. Text number 23. Who will read? Okay, Anita Mataji, go ahead. Text number 23. Mrinala Gaura Yata Shesha Bhoga Paryanka Ekam Purusham Shayanam Fanata Patra Yutamurdha Ratna Jubir Hatadvanta Yuganta Toye. Yes, Mother.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mrinala Gaura Yata Shesha Bhoga Paryanka Ekam Purusham Shayanam Fanata Patra Yutamurdha Ratna Dyubir Hatadvanta Yuganta Toye. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Vrishabhanu Kanya Mataji, did you not already read? Okay, fine. Synonyms, you can read. Hare Krishna.
Myself, Mataji.
Who has read already? Who has not?
I just recited the shloka.
Yeah. Whoever has not read, you can go ahead. I think you all can go ahead in the order of raised hands. Who's reading? Suma Manoj Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mrinala, lotus flower. Gaura, white all over. Ayata, gigantic. Shesha Bhoga, body of Sheshanaga. Paryanke, on the bed. Ekam, alone. Purusham, the supreme person. Shayanam was lying. Fana Atapatra, umbrella of a serpent hood. Ayuta, bedecked with. Murdha, head. Ratna, jewels. Dubhi, by the rays. Hata, Dhvanta, darkness, dissipated. Yuganta, devastation. Toye, in the water. Translation, should I read, Mataji?
I think there are some more hands, Mataji. We'll give a chance to everyone. Yeah, Sharmila Mataji, you want to read? Translation?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Brahma could see that on the water there was a gigantic lotus-like white bedstead, the body of Sheshanaga, on which the personality of Godhead was lying alone. The whole atmosphere was illuminated by the rays of the jewels bedecking the hood of Sheshanaga, and that illumination dissipated all the darkness of those regions. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So this is the Brahma's emotional ecstasies, right? Prabhupada's transcendental ecstasies came out through his purports. So Brahma's ecstasies are coming out in these verses, right? Which Vyasadeva is describing here in the Bhagavatam. And more of such emotional ecstasies are described in Brahma Samhita by Brahma himself. Right? So he could see that on the water. What could he see? The beautiful body of Garbhodakashai Vishnu. He's lying on the ocean, on Sheshanag. And the whole atmosphere is illuminated with the rays of jewels bedecking the hood of Sheshanag. And that illumination dissipated all the darkness of those regions. Right? So I'm just reminded of Krishna Leela, right? Where we are Damodar month is starting very soon. Right, when Krishna actually went to steal butter, Navanita Choram, right? When he goes to steal butter, at that time the entire place is very dark because the gopis are hiding all the butter. They don't want to display it, right? It is all in the pots and tied up to the ceiling, and the whole place is so dark. But when Krishna goes to steal the butter, what happens? His ornaments, actually illuminates the entire place, and then the gopis are able to see, oh, Krishna is here, and then they try to catch Krishna, although inside their heart they are feeling very happy. So here Brahma is saying that only the jewels bedecking the hood of Sheshanag, that is dissipating the darkness of all that because earlier he was filled with darkness, he could not know, he could not see anything, and then he heard this voice called tapa tapa, and then he meditated for 100 of his years, celestial years. And then now by the Lord's grace he is able to see the Lord, right? Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hradesh vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma is saying, right? Brahma is describing his own ecstasy because his eyes were anointed by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with love. What happens? He is able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is lying on the Ananta Shesh or the Sheshanag, and in this way, that sight of the Lord, right? What is that? Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar. Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Adhikar. Right? When he was able to see the Lord, then all of his illusion, all of his ignorance, all of his doubts, all of them got dissipated by the simple darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead lying on his bedstead, which is Sheshanag. Okay. Text number 24. You're on the second last verse. We still have time. Okay. Text number 24. We'll read Rasa Rangini Mataji. Preksham Chipantam Haritopalaadre Sandhya Branive Urukma Murdhnaha Ratno Dadarau Shadishau Manasya Panasrajo Venu Bhujangri Pangreve.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Preksham Shipantam Haritopalaadre Sandhya Branriver Ururukma Murdhnyah Ratno Dadarau Sadi Saumanasya Vanashri Jovenu Bhujangri Pangrehi. Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, I can't get your tune, so I'm following.
No, that's perfectly okay, Mataji. I mean, I'm not also singing any perfect tune. We're all trying our best. Yeah. Sudha Mataji, go ahead. Please read the synonyms.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam.
Dandavats.
Preksham, the panorama, Kshipantam, deriding, Harita, green, Upala, coral, Adrehe, of the hill, Sandhya, Abhranive, of the dress of the evening sky, Uru, great, Rukma, gold, Murdhnaha, on the summit, Ratna, jewels, Udadhara, waterfalls, Aushadi, herbs, Saumanasya, of the scenery, Vanasrajaha, flower garland, Venu, dress, Bhuja, hands, Angripa, trees, Angrehe, legs. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sudha Mataji, did you read just now? Oh, okay. Shri Priya Mataji, go ahead. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The luster of the transcendental body of the Lord mocked the beauty of the coral mountain. The coral mountain is very beautifully dressed by the evening sky, but the yellow dress of the Lord mocked its beauty. There is gold on the summit of the mountain, but the Lord's helmet bedecked with jewels mocked it. The mountains, waterfalls, herbs, etc., with the panorama of flowers, seems like garlands, but the Lord's gigantic body and his hands and legs decorated with jewels, pearls, tulsi leaves, and flower garlands mock the scene of the mountain. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, in this very beautiful verse, what is described? The beauty of the Lord is described, right, in these verses, right? And then Prabhupada talks about the beauty of nature, which strikes one with wonder, may be taken as a perverted reflection of the transcendental body of the Lord. So whatever we see the beauty in this material world, Prabhupada is saying, is but a reflection of the transcendental body of the Lord. And Krishna also says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita, right? Krishna talks about it in chapter 10, right? Yadyad vibhuti mat sattvam Srimad urjitam eva va devavagatsatvam mama tejo amsha sambhavam. Mama tejo amsha sambhavam. It just were a spark of my splendor. Krishna saying, whatever you find in this world, which is glorious, which is wonderful, which is beautiful, all of that is but a spark of my splendor. And even this darshan, what Brahma is getting here, Now, this is of Garbhodakasha Vishnu, right? This Garbhodakasha Vishnu is one of the expansions or one of the avatars of the Lord, right? The Purusha Avatara feature of the Lord, isn't it? And so, if the avatar of the Lord is so beautiful, then how much would the avatari be more beautiful? Isn't it? We are just seeing here that whatever is in the material nature, the creation in this material nature, they are Mama Tejo Amsa Shambhava. They are my minuscule, one by say a million, like the Jiva, right? Is 1 by 1 millionth part, the tip of the hair, like that. So similarly, whatever we see, whatever is wonderful and beautiful in this material world is an amsha of the Lord. It's just a minuscule of the glory or the beauty or the wonderful features of the Lord. But even when we see here that even the avatars of the Lord are so beautiful, they come for a particular purpose. Right, either for this Garbhodakasha Vishnu, why he's come? Because he's going to manifest this material nature, right? Following the will of the Lord, right? So then what happens when the material nature, everything is a spark of Krishna's splendor? Then the avatars of the Lord also, their beauty are also a kind of subset of, we can say, of Lord Krishna's personal beauty. Right? Because Krishna is Etechamcha Kala Krishna, Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam, right? The original candle, and all the other candles select the original candle. Although there is no difference in the opulence, we know that Krishna has got 4 additional qualities. So the beauty of the Lord, the beauty of Swayam Bhagavan, Vrindavan Krishna, right, is definitely much, much more than all of these avatars also. Right, that's what we will actually see in the personal beauty of the Lord. When Prabhupada will describe it in the next purport, we will get to know more of it. Okay, so let's quickly go. Here Prabhupada is also talking about the beauty of material nature. We should not minimize its beauty, right? Why? Because Krishna himself tells, right? It is Mama Tejo Amsha Sambhava. It is a spark of my splendor, right? How can we minimize the value of anything that is created by the Lord? Right? Because what the Lord has created and the Lord himself, there is no difference, right? Because there is no difference between the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Anything created by the Lord, anything done by the Lord himself, his holy names, his form, his qualities, there is no difference, right? That is why we get the same benefit of seeing the Lord when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we chant Hare Krishna with the same mood of self-surrender that Brahma did the tapasya to actually understand what is happening around him, we will get daily darshan of Radha Shama Sundar when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? So are we chanting in this mode of self-surrender or not? That is what we need to analyze, right? So this is what it is. We don't consider that this creation of the Lord by minimizing its beauty, but we understand that it is an amsha of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so last words for today. Who'll read? Text number 30. Text number 25. Chitra Krishna Sevini Mataji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Ayamato vistarataha swamana dehena lokatraya sangrahena vichitra divya bharanam shukhanam krita shriyapa shrutavesha deham. Yes, Mother.
Hare Krishna. Ayamato vistarat swamana dehena lokatraya samgrahena vichitra divya bharanam shukhanam krita shriyapa shrutavesha deham. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Prashanti Mataji, please read the synonyms.
Hare Krishna Mataji, synonyms. Ayatmaha by length. Ayamataha by length. Vistarataha by breadth. Samana by his own measurement. Dehena by the transcendental body. Lokatraya, the three upper, middle and lower planetary systems. Sangrahena by total absorption. Vichitra, variegated. Divya, transcendental. Abharana, amsukhanam, trace of ornaments. Krita, Shriya, Apashrita, beauty created by those dresses and ornaments. Vesha, dressed. Deham, transcendental body.
Hare Krishna. Now, Kishori Mataji, you can read the translation.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Bol. Thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Thank you. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His transcendental body, unlimited in length and breadth, occupied the three planetary system, upper, middle, and lower. His body was self-illuminated by unparalleled grace and variegatedness, and was properly ornamented. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So his transcendental body, unlimited, right, in length and breadth, occupied the three planetary systems, and his body was self-illuminated, right? So from the, not just from the ornaments, right, but Krishna himself, right, because natat bhashyate suryo na shashanko na pavagha yad gatvan nivartante tad dhamma parama mama. Krishna tells himself, tells in Bhagavad Gita, natat bhashyate suryo. There is no need for light, there is no need for external light, where electricity or sun or moon. Why? Because the transcendental body of the Lord is in itself creates a effulgence. His effulgence creates a light in the spiritual world. So there is no need for any external light. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport how the Lord is magnificently dressed and ornamented to prove his transcendental variegatedness. Right? In this material world itself, there is so much of variety. How can there not be variety in the spiritual world? Right? That is why we see that in the spiritual world, right? Chintamni prakrasatmasu kalpavriksha lakshavrateshu surabhirabhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasrashata sambrama sevyamanam govindamati purusham tamaham bhajami. There is variety. Each one is performing a service according to their own abilities, right? And Prabhupada is talking about the personal beauty of the Lord he's proving by his transcendental variegatedness. Right? Why? Because Krishna likes variegatedness, right? That is why Srimati Radharani said that she does not cook the food stuff again for Krishna. Every day it is Nava, right? Newer and newer foodstuffs are offered to Lord Sri Krishna. And this variegatedness also kills the theory of monotheism, right? This kills the theory of we talk about in Prabhupada's Pranamantra also, right? Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarani. So this Prabhupada actually he destroyed this Nirvishesha philosophy. That is why Krishna is exhibiting transcendental variegatedness to prove a point that the spiritual life, the process itself, and the spiritual world and the Lord, they are not Nirvishesha. They are Vishesha. That means they have special, everybody has got something special to offer to the Lord, which the Lord recognizes, because he recognizes the variegatedness, right? We also see in Bhagavatam, Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam avyayam brahmeti paramatmeti Bhagavan iti shabdyate. So until we reach the position of understanding who Bhagavan is, we are not realizing the actual variegatedness. In Brahman, it is only light. We are reducing the position of the Lord to mere light. In Paramatmati, what we are seeing, we are simply saying that he is situated in the heart. But what is the actual realization of Bhagavan? The actual realization of Bhagavan is a transcendental variegatedness by which we render services to the Lord in various forms, through various services, through engagement of our various senses. And in this way, we also bring about variegatedness for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this in sum and substance is the 4 verses glorifying the beauty of the Lord, glorifying the variegatedness that is there in the form of the Lord, in the services of the Lord, in the Dhamma of the Lord, in the Rupa of the Lord, right? And then we'll just end with this beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which beautifully describes the form of the Lord that actually made Shukadeva Goswami actually go and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, by which he actually elevated himself from the impersonalism to to the understanding the Bhagavan form of the Lord. What is that verse? Varha pidam natavaravapuhu karnayo karnikaram vibradvasaha kanaka kabisham vaijayantin cha malam randran venur adarasudaya purayan gopa vrindait vrindaranyam swapadaramanam ravishad gita kirtihi. Right? Barha Pidam, Natavarva Pusham. Barha Pidam means he who holds a peacock feather on his forehead, on his head. Natavarva Pusham, that means he is the best of the dancers, right? Karnayo Karnikaram. He is also wearing a blue color lotus-like flower on his ears, like his earring, right? Vibrat Vashaha Kanaka Kapisham. Vaijayantim Pamalam, right? He's wearing nice yellowish garments, which Prabhupada also talks about in this purport. He's wearing nice yellowish garments and then he is wearing a nice mala which is made of Vaijayanti flowers. Vaijayantincha malam. Randran venuhu adara sudaya. Right? What is it? There is a beautiful flute which has got several holes. Randran means holes, right? Beautiful holes which are there in that flute. What is he doing? He is holding the lips. He is holding the flute to his adhara. Adharam maduram vadanam maduram, right? The sweet lips of the Lord. He is holding the flute to his lips. Right? Vrindaranyam Sobadaramanam Pravishat Gita Kirtihi. In this forest of Vrindavan, where he is running barefoot, are the marks of his lotus feet, Swapadaramanam. Alright, the enchanting lotus feet of the Lord, by which he is running around in the Vrindavan Dham without shoes, without slippers, and his lotus feet is marking that there are marks of his lotus feet in various parts of the Vrindavan, right? And Pravishat Gita Kirtihi, and such glories of the Lord are being described by his pure devotees of the Lord. So the glories of the Lord, the form of the Lord, the rupa of the Lord, the lotus feet marks of the Lord, which is there in every part of Vrindavan Dham, where he is running around doing his wonderful pastimes. All of these are the only desire of a pure devotee, to have such darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to be an instrument in serving the Lord in his innumerable pastimes. That is the only desire of a pure devotee of the Lord. And how does the devotee fulfill that desire? By rendering pure devotional service, not having any desire other than serving, satisfying and pleasing Guru and Gauranga. We will be attaining that state of having this visual or the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the fortune of rendering pure devotional service directly in the spiritual world. All that begins and ends with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is our sadhana, and that is also our sadhya, right? And that is also our sadhan, right? That is the process, that is the method, and that is also our goal. To always remember Krishna, to engage in the service of Krishna, to beg for the service of Krishna. That is all that a devotee's life is made up of. And that is pure devotional service. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all for your kind and patient hearing. If anyone has any questions or realizations, then we can take them now. Otherwise, we can end the session. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji.
So I think
Thank you,
everybody is recognizing the beauty of the Lord. Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Oh, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Dandavat
Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Mataji has quit the group. I'll end the session now. Thank you all Matajis and Prabhujis. Dandavat pranams to all. Hare Krishna.